Really think that there was something wrong with me. I have gone back and forth about making this video for a long time. This is definitely something that is outside of my comfort zone. But if you're new here, my name is Marie. I'm a single mom. I'm also a corporate girly and a lover of crafts. But if you're not new to my channel and you've followed my page over the last couple of years, you've probably been a little bit confused. One month I was making cakes, next month I was making earrings, then sourdough, then pressed flowers, now giant flowers. So it probably looked like I couldn't make up my mind as far as what I wanted to do for this channel. But lately I have realized that I don't think I was changing hobbies. I truly believe that I was just trying to find myself these last couple of years. And I want to tell my story because I have a feeling that there are other people that are maybe in the same boat as me. I felt like I was almost having like a midlife crisis or something. I just really felt like I didn't know who I truly was. So I've never really shared my personal backstory publicly. That was just something that I always kept pretty close to my chest. I had my son when I was 18 years old, so I became a very young mom, didn't really know what I was doing, started working. Things were a little tough, but we were doing okay. I didn't know who I was at that time. I was scared. I didn't want people to look at me like I was a young single mom. So I felt like I needed to really act professional and mature. And I think with that, I was almost putting on this persona to certain people. I felt like kind of a chameleon. I felt like I was always wanting to blend in. I didn't want to rock the boat. I wanted to be liked. And I think that rinse and repeat of doing that for years and years and years ultimately led me to being more confused about myself. So I had this picture in my head. I honestly believed that one day I'd meet this amazing guy, we'd have an amazing family, and things would just be happily ever after. When life didn't happen that way, I started to feel like there was something wrong with me, and I really became a people pleaser. I was constantly changing pieces of myself to blend in with the people around me and to make them happy. And I didn't want to rock the boat. I wanted people to like me. And looking back, I don't really know if people knew the real me, because I didn't even know the real me, I guess. I spent so many years looking for my worth in other relationships that I really lost sight of who I was. And now I feel like I'm finally starting to rebuild that part of me. I have always been a creative person. Growing up, I loved drawing, painting, creating, building, just anything I could get my hands on. I was just always doing something. And I think as the natural progression of, growing up and easing into early adulthood, those things kind of took a back seat. And when you don't use all of your talents and gifts, it's kind of like a muscle. You kind of lose it. So I wasn't participating in anything super crafty, super consistently. So I just really, that part of my brain just like wasn't firing anymore. A number of years back, my sister-in-law got pregnant with my first nephew. My mom asked me to help her decorate for the baby shower, and one of my items was to make the cake. I started looking on YouTube, looking up tutorials, and I found all these cute cake ideas, and I thought I could totally do that. I'm gonna try. So I went to the store, I got box cake. I wanted to make real buttercream, so I got some tools for the buttercream, the piping, and I did little rosettes all across this cake, and it was so stinking cute. And the thing is, I super enjoyed it. All of a sudden, something clicked with me, something lit up, and I wanted to keep doing things like that. After I made the cake for that baby shower, friends and family started coming to me and asking, can you make this cake? Can you make this cake? Just the more and more I did it, I found that it was so much fun and I loved it. And I loved creating something beautiful that put a smile on other people's faces. So that's kind of how I started my cake decorating. Then I started making videos. I posted them on YouTube and other platforms, and people started liking them and commenting and saving, and they wanted to know, my recipes and how I did certain things. And so I kind of found this other little community. It was super fun. I loved it. And I'll get into this maybe in a different video, but I kind of went down the path of opening up a small little business, a cake decorating business in my home. Won't get into that in detail right now. Anyways, this creative bug definitely bit me. So then I started painting again, drawing, polymer clay, earrings, dollhouse items. I started renovating a dollhouse, which I will finish. Pressed flowers. I got really into flowers. I grew a bunch of flowers in my backyard one year. Most recently, I've been making these giant flowers. Crafts all over the place. A couple of months ago, I kind of took a step back. All of a sudden, I thought, what am I doing with all of these random hobbies? I just feel like I'm just kind of all over the place. And I finally realized, though, that I'm allowing myself to almost be childlike for the first time in a long, long time. I'm letting myself play. I'm experimenting. I'm figuring out who I am. I'm trying all sorts of new things I've never done before. And I actually signed up for a half marathon. Never done that before, so I'm a little scared, but I'm following a training plan. Thank you, ChatGPT. But I'm doing all these things that I never thought that I would do. Things that scare me, intimidate me, but challenge me, but also excite me. And I'm finding what I like. And I think for the first time, I'm not looking for validation outside of myself. I'm looking for it within. So I don't know if that's called a midlife crisis or what. But for the first time, I'm feeling like I'm loving myself, and I'm giving myself grace, and I'm trying to talk nicely to myself and kind of control my inner dialogue. If this channel keeps changing, that's because I am. And honestly, I hope it doesn't stop changing. I want to keep evolving. I want to keep finding things I like, and I want to share things that I like. That also brings me joy, is kind of showing the process. And it's fun when I connect with other people and they say, like, I'd like to try that too. And how do you do that? So anyways, that is my little short, long story. I hope that this maybe resonates for other people, maybe other moms or other women in their mid-30s who feel like, what am I doing with my life? My life is not the way that I projected it would be. I thought I would be married. I thought I would do this. I thought I would have kids. I thought I'd have a house, blah, blah, blah. I think that it's okay to take a step back and know that your timeline doesn't need to look like everybody else's, and there is no right timeline. It's okay to grieve maybe things that you had hoped for, but I also think that the things that your heart desires, they're going to come to you, maybe not in the way that you thought they would, but they're going to come around. So I just firmly believe that. And I keep telling myself that every day. So even when there's bad days, I just think, you know what? It's okay. Like my dad told me the other day, there are always, always good days after bad days. And it's so true. Life just kind of goes like this. Let's see what my next hyperfixation is. Anyways, that's all for now. I'm gonna be packing here shortly. I am going on a canoe portaging trip, which also I have never done before. I'm not a camping person, so we shall see. But anyways, I will talk to you later. Bye.